Ken, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, perfect. We are recording, and if you want to walk us through the muting process and all that good stuff, that would be great. If not, I'm happy to do so, but I'm going to let you get us started.
Okay. Well, sorry for the
technical difficulties,
and I'm hearing
an echo, so it's kind of driving me crazy.
If you don't mind,
since most people know who you are, will you just introduce yourself and Debbie, and then I'll jump on here in a second.
Oh, sure, of course. And
okay, thanks.
I'm going to go ahead, and if you guys will, that are on your computers, if you'll take a second and mute your cell phone, but also, if you don't mind, just muting your account. There should be a prompt that gives you the ability to mute. If you'll do that, that'll really help us with the background audio. We love your kids and we love hearing your dogs, but not while we're recording. So if y'all don't mind doing that, that would be great. Okay, so I'll go ahead and get us started. Guys, we are so excited to be on the Rising Emeralds call tonight. I have to tell you that this has just been something that I've looked forward to for a really, really long time. I've seen the page and I've seen so many incredible leaders go before us. So the fact that y'all are family, that you guys, for the majority, are our downline, there's a little pressure. Like, I really want this to be great, but I know that we just need to be ourselves, and that is what you guys ultimately want to hear. But for those that I have not met, my name is Melissa Darby, and I'm a Diamond Ambassador, and my sweet, amazing, wonderful mom in love, Emerald, Debbie Darby, is on with me tonight, and she and I are going to walk you through some super exciting stuff. But Deb, why don't you go ahead and say hi first, and then we'll get into our stories, and we can go from there.
Hi! I had to unmute myself. So I'm so excited to be on this call, and it's so much fun to be doing it with Mel. So we are honored and thrilled to be on this call. And we just hope that you guys, that we'll give you all a little nugget that will help you as you are reaching for Emerald. Yes! Okay, go for it.
Okay, so I want to start with let's go all the way back to April 2013, which was a little over 3 years ago now. I had a marketing job, moved from Texas. Gosh, it's been 5 years since we moved from Texas, but a little over 2 years after we moved our family from Texas to Little Rock to be closer to our family. I mean, who wouldn't want to be close to this wonderful mother-in-law? But truly, she was a huge part of it. We have 2 kiddos, and they are now, my daughter's 11 and my son is 7. But at the time, my son had been diagnosed with autism, and we were really looking for more support, more resources. And you would think in the state of Texas that there would be everything at your fingertips. And as I really started digging into this journey, I realized that the Medicaid list was several years long, the resources were dried up, and I felt very alone in my process. And Debbie is a cheerleader of my life, of our family, and we started talking. And anyway, long story long, and you can, I would love for y'all to watch the documentary to get a little more insight, but it was a huge leap of faith to move to Little Rock. Now, my husband, Nathan, grew up in Little Rock, but it was totally foreign to me. My life was Texas. I'm an only child. My family, my friends, everything was there. But when you feel called, when you know that God has a bigger purpose in your life, you got to jump, and you got to jump boldly. And it was the scariest, but kind of the most exciting time in our life and in our marriage, because it was really the first time that we didn't have a plan B. We jumped on faith. And because of that, my son is doing amazing. This Plexus business happened. So many gifts happened from that. So if you take one thing away from the story tonight, it's just that you have an opportunity and you know that it's the real deal, and you know that it's right, I want you guys to be making that jump and really putting all of yourself into it. I'll share a little bit more about health background later, but I joined with Debbie. We joined at the same time, and she'll share a little with her story as well. But it was neat because I had another job at the time. I needed to work, although I wanted to be a stay-at-home mom, and the medical bills were really piling up for Carson. My husband is a type 1 diabetic. My daughter has ADHD and learning disabilities. My son is autistic, and that made me an anxious head case, and so that made us a medical mess of a family. So those medical bills were adding up, and my husband did a great job, but I needed to pitch in and do more. So when this whole Plexus thing came around, I wasn't interested. Debbie and I had actually done a network marketing company in the past. I didn't want anything to do with it. And I'll let her share a little bit more about how we got started. But bottom line, with my other job, I decided to jump all in and go all in, and I promoted to Emerald within, it was around 9 months, and then I was able to quit my job, and then made Diamond right there at that 1 year mark. So I've had a blessed story, but I also want y'all to hear some of the rough knee stories tonight too. I want y'all to know that it sounds easy, and going back to that year, looking back, I can say, oh yeah, it was totally worth it. But when you're in that moment, fighting for every single point, like I know you guys are right now, it feels like almost like it's never gonna happen. But I sit here today and just want to encourage you guys to know that you are doing the hard work right now so that you can have the freedom for your family and leave that legacy for your future. So Deb, go ahead and bridge our story together. I love that we get to do this together. It's the most fun part of our business.
Okay, thanks, Will. This has been the biggest God journey ever. When Mel and I signed up together, she signed up about 5 minutes before me, and we're kind of kindred spirits, joined at the hip, and we love doing stuff together. It's like, oh, when are we going to start having fun together? Well, we always have fun together. We love and adore each other. So we signed up, and when I signed up, my thought was, I just want to lose a few pounds, because that was back in the day when it was brand new, never heard about it here in Little Rock, and all I thought was it was weight loss, and I just wanted to lose a few pounds. So I jumped on thinking, maybe I'll lose a few pounds. If I do, great. If I don't, okay, well, what have I lost? So Suzanne Clinton posted on Facebook, and I got hold of her and started the products and got to thinking, wonder about my hubby. There's loads of diabetes and heart issues in my family.
Is he taking a
My
shower?
hubby is cute and adorable, but he's round in the middle.
Where are you?
Hey, y'all, would you all mute your lines, please? Okay, so he's round in the middle, which is indicative of possible heart issues to come. And so he is Mr. Skeptical to the max, but he joined me, and we were kind of quick studies. We both lost weight quickly and saw results quickly. And then I thought, oh, okay, well, I can do this. And then I got my first check, and I was like, oh my gosh, holy cow. I get paid for this. And my first check, it wasn't just a little teeny check. It was almost $1,000. So I was beyond shocked and thought, okay, I can do this. So it was fun at the beginning. Mel and I became the Darby team, and we just railroaded through. And once we got started, all of a sudden I realized, oh my goodness, this is what I've been praying for. I've been praying for something. I love computers. I'm a geek at heart. So I wanted something where I could get in front of the computer, but I also wanted something that gave me purpose. And my heart has always been for, I look at this, you all on here, and I think, you're my passion. You young moms, young wives who either want to be stay-at-home moms or want to help your families, want to help with income. And that is my heart, because I had to be a working mom way back when my boys were little. And it was very hard for me. I didn't want to be a working mom. I wanted to be a stay-at-home mom. So God has given me Plexus as a tool toward my passion, which is you young moms. And so that's kind of how it's all evolved. And I love where I am. I know it's a God thing. And there have been ups and downs and tears and joys and celebrations. But I am in this for the long haul with Mel, and we are a team, always have been, and we will continue to be so. So that's my short version.
Okay, so we're just going to jump right in, because everyone that is on the Rising Emeralds page has said, I want to be a leader in Plexus, and I want to be a jewel. And the minute that you make that decision, whether you're there or whether it's the day that you make that decision, you draw that line in the sand and you're all in. And I was really trying to think about what I could bring to the table to share, because I've had so many great people that have come and shared their stories and shared different perspectives. Sally and Kim said, if you could share a little bit about what you shared at the Jewel panel at convention, that would be great. And I thought, this group hasn't heard that. And it really came from my heart. And I think it's really relevant to where some of you guys are. It certainly has been for me. And that is, dun, 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 excuses. So life happens. Life is beautiful, and it's tough, and it's messy, and it's hard, and it's great, and it's all of the above, just like your Plexus business, right? So everywhere, every day, life happens. And we choose to make it or break it. And our business can make it or break it depending on how we allow life, how we live our life, and the choices that we make. I woke up this morning and said, actually, before bed last night, I told my husband, tomorrow is going to be a great day. I'm going to be productive. We're going to get a ton done. I have a great call tomorrow night. It's going to be a great day. And he was like, okay, I'm sure it'll be a great day. Kind of like, And I woke up this morning and I was like, today is going to be a great day. And today has been a great day. A lot of things happened. There were some major complications this afternoon, and I normally would have come home griping. But I made a choice last night to say that today is going to be a great day. Now, that sounds simple. Well, it is simple. And sometimes you can say that you're going to have a great day and life really happens and it's not going to be a great day. But in your business, as a leader, you can look at excuses and you can validate them, and they can stop your business from growing, and excuses will be the dead end. Or you can have a mindset shift. So let's shift gears and let's take excuses that lead to dead ends and turn them into opportunities, okay? So when you think of an excuse that comes into your mind, I can't share Plexus because I have a soccer game tonight, or other moms don't have special needs kids like I do, they don't understand, or but what if I fail, or but what if I do good, or what if everybody says no? Those are valid. Those are fears that can become excuses, that can become dead ends. But if you really think about it and you enable yourself to take those and make them challenges that you overcome, not only is your business going to grow, but your day is going to be different. Your mindset is going to be different. And the way that you talk, the way that you act, the way that you feel, that's all going to change. And that's what makes people an influencer. And Debbie's going to talk a little bit more about that. But the main thing that I wanted y'all to think about right now is, what is your goal this month? And what is your long-term goal? What excuses are getting in the way? I want y'all to really take that tonight, or start jotting it down right now even if you want to, but really think about the excuses that are getting in your way. we love to craft and create excuses. We love to have things to gripe about. I mean, I'm one. I love to vent. I love to gripe. It's cathartic. I get it. People love having those things. But I created my own obstacle when I felt like that I had to be all things to all people at all times. And so this is where my excuse gets very real, and I just kind of want to share my heart with you guys, because this isn't always the side that I love to share. I mean, who loves to share their junk? I made a lot of excuses, and I had another job at the time. Like I said, I had my son with autism, my husband's diabetic, so much going on. But at the same time, I had incredible people on my team that were equipped, that knew how to run, that were ready to run. And I was getting in their way. And because of that, I created an obstacle. I made an obstacle for myself that didn't have to be there. I trusted them. It wasn't that. But it was that I cared so much about going Emerald and going, particularly Emerald. We'll talk a little about that later too. That is such a life-changing step that you want to hold on. And you don't want to micromanage, but you want everything to go your way. And that is not a fun place to be, is it? Do you want to be in that kind of team? No, you want to have fun. You want to have opportunities. You want to be empowered. You want your leader to come to you as a silver ambassador and say, make a video about the triplex and share it, because that means that she trusts you. And my biggest advice is that if you have somebody on your team that is excited, that wants to do this, I challenge you to ask them to step in, okay? The biggest thing that's going to happen is that they might mess up, but the bigger thing is that they might step up and realize that they can do it, and you've got a runner. So don't be a me and take everything on and feel like that it all has to be you and that you have to take care of everything at all times, because you will end up with mono, like I did. And then here I am trying to be a diamond with Plexus with mono, and then you go in a hole and hide because anyway, you can just see how the excuses piled up. So don't allow your excuses to feed the negativity. Challenge yourself to be an overcomer and blow up your business by instilling leadership in your rock stars. So Deb, you ready to take on our next topic, or do you have anything you want to add?
No, you did great. You covered it, girl. Okay. All right, guys. I want you to take a sec, and I want you to think about a few people who you followed over the years. It could be a pastor or a friend, a boss, a movie star. Just think of somebody that you followed. Could be in your teen years or your college years. Got somebody in mind? And it's possible you're going to think about, those college years, I was following somebody. What the heck was I thinking? Got somebody in mind? Okay. For some reason, you followed that person. And it could be that that person helped make you who you are today. And maybe that's as a parent. Maybe you became a teacher or a counselor or a mentor because of the person that you decided to follow. Okay, you got somebody in mind? Yes. Okay. So why do you think you followed that person? Well, I can tell you in one simple word. You followed that person because of influence. Okay, the dictionary defines influence as the capacity to have an effect on the character, development, or behavior of someone. And John Maxwell, in his book, 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership, says, "He who thinks he leads but has no followers is only taking a walk." If you can't influence people, they're not going to follow you. You've had people in your life who've made a huge impact on you, and you followed them because of their influence. So ask yourself, are you an influencer? Because if you aren't, guess what? You're just taking a walk. Okay, you guys, you are rising emeralds. So you have a team that's looking to you, and you are officially a leader. But what kind of leader are you? Look at your team. Are they following you? Because true leadership is influence, the ability to obtain followers. Okay, most of us have been in a position at one time or another where we have had a leader and we didn't really follow that leader. And why would that be? Okay, so it makes me think about a part-time job that I had years and years ago. I was working in this cute little shop. It was a paint shop where we taught painting, and I even got to teach a couple of classes, and I loved painting. So it was great for me. I so enjoyed it. But my boss, who was so creative and so talented, managed me. She didn't influence me. She didn't listen to me. She didn't respect me. She didn't ask my opinion. She actually bullied me. She pressured me. She didn't respect me. And that job that I started out loving, I ended up hating, and I quit. So here you guys are, an emerald. It's on the horizon. You desperately want to be there. And I get it. I've been there, done that. And guys, I was like OCD, like freaking OCD over it. I wanted to be there so badly. If only I could have made everybody do exactly what I wanted, when I wanted, how I wanted, what I wanted. I wouldn't have been stuck at Senior Ruby for so long if they'd only listened to me. But we're where we are because we are driven. God has us in this place. We're go-getters. We've got a dream, and we are going after it. We see the big picture, and we are so close. But that's a good news, bad news. The good news is we're passionate. We do see the dream. We're going after it. We love it. We cannot wait to get there. The bad news is where we are at this place, this little place in time, can cause us to be controllers or micromanagers and not influencers. But, okay, let me see on the front end here. You're a leader, so you've got to manage. So I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about that fine line you cross with your big old toe when you go from managing to controlling and micromanaging. So here you are at this place. You're almost emerald, and you want control, but you already know this. You can only control what you can control. So this kind of management may feel like you're in control, but you're not. This kind of management, the one where you're crossing your big toe, is the one where it feels like pressure, where you start getting people not responding to you, where people are MIA, where it feels like pressure. It's not fun anymore. And I don't know about you guys, but when I was at this place of wanting to be at Emerald so bad, I started micromanaging some. And this is not where you want to be. But it's a natural place because of who we are to want to be. So ask yourself, am I managing or am I influencing? Okay, so what does an influencer look like? And guys, these are super simple. They're no-brainers. But sometimes, especially when you're in that emerald or bust mode, you need some reminders. So influence is showing interest in your team and in those individuals on your team. It's making people feel important. I'm not telling you all anything you haven't heard before. But it's respecting people. Please and thank you. It's treating people with courtesy and respect. It's being dependable. Don't promise things that you can't deliver. It's being honest. It's listening. You know, we're at a place where we want to talk so much. Okay, I'm not being a mom now. I'm being a leader. Shut up and listen for a while. Stay away from the negative. Guys, we've had so much that we could have been negative over these last many months with the back office and shipping and whatever. We could have jumped on that train in 2 seconds flat. You're a leader. Get off that train and show your team how to act. Be polite. Work hard. Be willing to learn. And here are some things that are just simple, but it means so much. Remember people's names. You know, I was at convention and I had so many people that would say, "Hi, Debbie." And I promise you in my mind, I'm going, how the heck did they remember my name? But it was that impactful to me. It tells me that they're paying attention to details. I take it personally when somebody calls me by my name. Smile. We're drawn to people who smile. It tells me that they're trustworthy, that they're approachable. And do you know when you smile, it releases endorphins? It eases body tension. So flash those pearly whites and smile. And you know what? Even if you're down, do it. Fake it till you make it. Be someone worthy of looking up to. And that means your posts. I go through posts day in and day out, ad nauseum. And some of those I look at and think, oh my gosh, they're an ambassador and they're posting that. That doesn't look good. Gossip. We could get on the gossip train in 2 seconds flat. Get off it. I'm a mom. How you dress. You know, that sounds silly, but think about it. How you dress and how you present yourself. People are watching you. They're watching us as Jewels and Senior Ruby. They are watching us, and we're making an impact on them. Admit your mistakes. You screw up, don't pass it off or blame. Admit it. People love it when you admit your mistake. You eat the crow.
Yep.
It takes guts to do that, but people admire honesty, and honesty inspires trust. Don't complain. You know, I can't tell you how many times at convention I heard people complaining about either too many people couldn't get where they needed to get. How do we house that many people? Over 12,000 people in that hotel. I heard complaining all the time from ambassadors, from Jewels. You know, that you're just planting seeds for others to complain who are under you. Be grateful. Be grateful you're alive. Be grateful you're a Ruby, a Senior Ruby, that you're almost an Emerald. You're in 1% of the company. Be grateful. Be grateful for every day. And I want to end it with just have fun. Why would anyone want to do this if it's not fun? I am all about fun. And if it's not a party and having fun, I'm so out of here. Have a great time. You know, every one of us could come up with 5, 10, 100 reasons to be angry or mad in about 2 seconds flat. But every one of us can come up with 1,000 reasons to be grateful and happy. Happiness is contagious. Choose to be happy. I want you to remember this. The team that got you to where you are now, which is probably Senior Ruby, is not the same team that's going to get you to Diamond. So be an influencer. Be the one that attracts the right people to your team. The one that keeps those people who are on your team still on your team. Be the leader that people want to follow. And you as a leader, this is a quote from John Quincy Adams. If your actions inspire others to dream more, learn more, do more, and become more, you are a leader. So I'm finished.
Okay. Wasn't that so good, you guys? So when you probably saw us like, hey, and just being ourselves and probably going, whoa, that was a little too much Velveeta for, Tuesday night. We are so thankful to be here. We are so thankful to have the opportunity to share with you guys, and it's genuine.
I love Velveeta.
But you can tell when someone is, and the fake it till you make it, sometimes you got to do that. And when you're having a hard month, going to a meeting is the best thing that you can do. There have been those times where I'm like, we got to get out. We're hitting refresh too much, and we are not having fun enough. We are not talking to people. So we've lived these things, and we wouldn't share them if we hadn't learned them as experiences already. And talking about being a human, being vulnerable, and owning your mistakes. I love that, Debbie. And being in the position that we especially were put in back in 2013, there weren't a whole lot of leaders established in Plexus. The tools that you guys have right now, and those that, if this was your first convention, I don't have words. And it doesn't mean that it's going to make it any easier, but it does mean that Plexus is at a place where you guys can recruit and bring on those influencers. The news anchors from Channel 8 in Texas, the doctors, the chiropractors, the nurses, the pediatricians, the mom with a message, the mom that people want to know, Celeste, the person that she hadn't worked before, but she was an influencer in her church, in her community, and knew everyone. You guys, Plexus, we are at a place with having medical advisory, clinical trials, new products. I don't want there to be any more excuses. And one more thing I want to say really quick that I wanted to mention earlier. So in the middle, let's go back to October. I know you probably don't want to go back to October because that's when our new back office relaunched. And that was a legitimate hard time for Plexus as a company. And having corporates back was so important during that time. I had to specifically not engage in a lot of the threads, a lot of the pages, because I found that I was stalling. I was freezing. I was getting so nervous about what was going on, but inside I was going, this is a thing. We're going to get past it. And I remember Emily Fennell, who's in my downline, she's a diamond now, called, and I want to say she had just become an emerald maybe, definitely in a leadership position, but the poo had hit the fan. Everyone had it. And there wasn't a whole lot of positivity going around. And I got a message from Emily saying, can I call you? And I thought, sure, yeah, okay. Kind of gear up because I need to put that positive cap on. And she called me and said, okay, so our team is killing it right now. We have so much going on, and everyone's talking about how there's no momentum and that back office is killing everything. I know that there are some hard things going on, but I come from corporate America. Relaunches are difficult. Software breaks. People quit. That's life. Should I be legitimately worried? I mean, is our company going down in flames? And I said, you just keep doing what you're doing. Don't worry about it. Plexus has it figured out. They're working on it, and they will get it taken care of. You keep doing what you're doing. That was so refreshing and reminded me that I needed to be a little bit more like my team member. That inspired me to remember that this was a moment in time and it was a season. And Debbie and I want to talk to y'all about what it really means to go Emerald, okay? And we touched on it a little, and I know not all of you are Senior Ruby. I know we've got silver and golds, and you're thinking, how is that even possible? Well, you take it one promotion at a time. Because if you think about being Emerald right now, it's just going to totally overwhelm you. But take it one promotion at a time, and it'll happen. As long as you don't give up and you continue to stay positive and go for your dream teamers. But what does it mean to go Emerald? What does that mean? Debbie, what does it mean to go Emerald to you?
I have a liaison. love that.
I love it too. I love that you have a liaison.
It's so fun. You know, honestly, I think going emerald is the ultimate. It's going to be fun to be sapphire. It's going to be fun to be diamond. But going emerald, oh my gosh, guys, I got to tell you, it is so worth it. I love the car. I love the Hawaii trip. But it's the little things. Sitting on the floor at convention. Holy cow.
That was not little. That was
Awesome.
big.
It was so good. Okay, I want to say something to you guys. We are in June and July, these 2 months. And somebody may come shoot me for this, but I'm going to be real with you. Okay, we can't, for the 12 months of the year, do everything the same every month. But for this month, June and July, pull out the stops. Dig deep. Yeah, you want to be with your kids. It's summer. But what you do now is gonna, or maybe you don't, but what you do now is going to impact you from forever, from now on. Maybe it's easy for me to say because I'm a grandmom, but I can't tell you the difference this summer being emerald of last summer and being so OCD and so just couldn't get it off my mind. So I am telling you, pull out the stops. Get your team working with you. Do incentives. Do what you've got to do. It's different in June and July than it is in August and all those other months. Go for it with all you've got. It will pay off in the long run. It is so worth it. Is that what you wanted me to say? Because that's how I feel.
No, it's perfect. And I just want to piggyback and share with you guys having the privilege of promoting to Sapphire and promoting to Diamond. I can't totally even explain those experiences, but there's nothing like becoming an Emerald Ambassador. It is, to me, the biggest, it's the game changer. I told this to Sally, and going through it with your best friends, with your people, with my mother-in-law, Debbie, and with Sally, my best friend, I wanted it so much more for them than I wanted it for me. I wanted to quit work. I totally was in crazy Emerald Lady focus, and my 2-upline had said, don't even think about it for December. Think about it in January. And I was like, I'm going for it, because if I go for it in December, I'll be that much closer in January. And y'all, on December 28th, it happened. So one thing that I love Debbie's advice of, don't be afraid to roll up your sleeves and really go for it right now, because that Hawaii trip, it is so worth it. We'll have you there next year. I confidently believe that. But what if you went back to your teams right now and made a plan and talked about what every person needed to do to promote this month and in July? Because one thing that Team Crosby did that I thought was so brilliant was that they had a plan, and the majority of the team members promoted at the same time. And that momentum, it was huge. So I know that's not possible in every aspect, but if you can line it up and you can create a perfect storm where you've got your levels, even 5 and 6, where everyone is pulling together and they are fighting for their sponsor and that sponsor's fighting for their sponsor, it will humble you the way that your team will come together and pull together and fight. I've never seen people come together and care about each other as much as I have seen our team do that. And celebrating Debbie going Emerald and celebrating Sally going Emerald were my 2 favorite days in Plexus. It's emotional because I know that their lives are changed. I know what it means. And going to convention, as a jewel, yeah, it's a big freaking deal. I just want to say, like, it is. And there's a reason that it feels that way. And I don't want to be separated from my team. A party of one is not fun. We want you guys with us so that we can all be in this together. That is my biggest goal. What Rita
That's our joy.
Yes.
I mean, it's fun for us, but our joy. I'd see Angela there. Oh, I cannot wait. Our joy is getting you all with us. That's when it, I think as a mom, you know what it's like as a mom. That's how we feel. So we can't wait. As much as you want it, we want it for you.
My last point, and I'm done, is Rita Davenport said, do the hard work now so you can play later. And there were opportunities at convention where I was invited to do other stuff, and I wanted to be with my team. And when I talked to people and they were checking in, I said, go be with your team. This is a work trip. Now, it's a fun work trip, but guys, do the work now. Roll up your sleeves. Invest in your dream team. Don't get tired right now, or get tired and keep going right now, because pushing through it now is going to make your life so much better later, because you're going to be tired either way. So why not change your life, change your legacy, change your future? That short-term sacrifice for long-term freedom, there's a reason that we say that, and the good just gets better when we have all of us together doing it. So we just wanted to share a little bit about why Emerald in particular is the game changer. And there is some craziness that goes along with it, but it is the hardest time that I think it's the hardest part of Plexus. I think going from Ruby to Emerald is the insane in the membrane, crazy in the head. I can't think about anything else because I want it so bad, and that's normal, and that is okay. And talk to us. Come to your upline. We want to help you guys. So don't feel like you got to do this alone. We've been there, we've done that, and we want to do it with you. So
I'm going to say one thing too. You all hear balance all the time. Stay balanced. And again, this is one of those times where I'm probably saying something I shouldn't say. Going from Senior Ruby to Emerald is not going to be a time of balance. You do the best you can, but just know that it's not going to be the time of balance, but it's going to lead you to an incredible time of balance.
Yeah. Okay. So I think we are ready to turn it over to questions. We got some awesome questions on the page this week, and I think we've got 5 or 6 to go through. Debbie and I are going to kind of take turns going back and forth. And you know who you are if you have your questions, right? Yes, we hope so. We're planning on that. I think Jen Scott had question number 1, and it's her birthday today. So Kim, do you want to kick us off?
Hold on one second.
Okay.
Andrea, do you need to ask?
Hi.
Or are you good? Give me a thumbs up if you're good.
Who?
Okay. Sorry. We were scheduling some things right before. Anyways, yeah. Let me ask Jen Scott's question for you. While I'm pulling it up, I'm so glad my video started working so I could see me bawl my eyes out.
Makes me happy to see you. It makes me happy to see you.
All right. So her question was, number 1 tip on helping ambassadors get to silver.
Okay. It's really hard to just have one. What I kind of want to say, we're just going to get raw here. It's 3 people. It's 3. It's not 500. We're talking about 3 people. That is doable. There are a lot of other parts of this journey that seem way more overwhelming, but everybody can talk to 3 people and get them on board with Plexus. So part of me is like, those 7-day challenges are awesome. Those the Road to Silver or those challenge groups, this creating a sense of urgency with your new ambassadors and getting them to silver right away is my biggest advice, because it's going to pay for their product. And when their product is paid for, they are going to be far more long-term invested in Plexus, because if you don't have to dip into your budget, your monthly budget, to pay for Plexus, I guarantee you're going to hang in there a lot longer, because we all love the products. Nobody says, oh gosh, I just, it's not the price. It's just, oh, I just don't want these products. Now everybody wants the products. It's a hard thing to fit into the budget. But if you go silver right away, you get that paycheck. They are able to see right away our compensation plan is second to none, and it really equips them and makes them excited and gets them started. If it takes a year, if it takes 6 months, which happens, and that's okay too, it is just going to take so much more momentum to get there. So my biggest advice is create a sense of urgency and really focus on silver in 7 or silver in that first month. Cover those product prices.
Awesome. Debbie, do you have anything to add?
Nope, that's what I was going to say. I think the quicker you can get a check in their hand, the more you're going to create belief, and they're going to duplicate what's happened with them.
Awesome. Thank you all. Andrea, do you want to ask your question?
Can you hear me? Can
Yes.
you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. Thanks, ladies. So when we're constantly promoting now, we're growing our team by upgrading our preferred customers. How are we able to come up with a consistent PV? Now we have Leaders Retreat. We want to earn credits, and we're losing PVE. So what ideas do you have?
Okay, I'm going to take this one, and as much as I'd love to give you a magic formula, I can't, because I'd like to know a good magic answer to that too. The bottom line is, the higher you rank, the more PV tends to go down, because you're concentrating so much on your team and building your team. My guess is that most of the ranked jewels don't have these incredible PVs that they used to have. So in order to keep your PV up, bottom line, you got to get more customers. That's just kind of the way it is. You follow up with the ones you have so that you can keep them, and you keep adding.
Can I throw in just a quick?
Sure.
I'll make it super quick. Particularly in, again, this Ruby to senior Ruby period of time. Everybody's PV is naturally going to go down in converting those ambassadors, but it is so worth it in the long run. There is a time where pay points far outweigh your PV. PV now, for me, is just a little drop in the bucket compared to what pay points have done. And at the time, I was like, oh, I don't want to let go of these customers because I need that. Guys, you've got to let go of that mindset and start thinking bigger picture. Convert those customers to ambassadors. That is going to give them such a bigger vision for Plexus and get their products paid for. They will be around longer, and it truly will get you there. The people that I have had that conversation with at Senior Ruby that have taken the advice and not just said, okay, yeah, no, but really have taken that to heart, it's been a game changer, and they have been able to promote much quicker. So you know what, you can worry about PV later. Right now, get to Emerald, get to the Life Changer, and we'll deal with customers later. But Debbie's right. You just got to, it gets harder later.
Yeah,
the pay points and those pay pools take care of it. So don't stress over that. It's okay. Just know that that's a part of it, and it's all good.
Hey, can I interject with a side note question kind of on this subject? With the Consistency Club, it's, y'all are saying as you rank, it gets harder just to maintain that PV. I'm trying to like really emphasize that with my team and like tell them like it would be a really big deal to walk across the stage next year at convention. And I'm trying to tell them like it may not necessarily be a given for Jules because Jules' mindset are kind of shifted at that point. Is that an accurate statement? Or, I mean, I just want them to see like this is a big deal and something they should push for. Does that make sense?
Are you saying that yes, you are pushing for it?
Yeah, like is it an honest statement that it may not be a given that every Jewel is going to walk across the stage?
Oh, definitely.
For sure.
For sure.
You mean, Kim, you mean the Consistency Club, right? You're talking about walking across the stage for Consistency Club?
Yeah.
That's a huge. And getting that VIP seating at Leaders Retreat, that's huge. I mean, that's getting a feel for those Jewel perks. You're getting to experience that. And honestly, what's neat about the Consistency Club is that it's about gaining new customers too. So if you are really working on continuing to grow your customer base, you can still convert those ambassadors. So it's 300 and 500 PB is doable, but if you are continually bringing in customers, you can still convert your ambassadors and do, I mean, and I think also you've got to make some choices. There have been people that I've had to say, okay, is Maui in July, is that your number one? Or is it, is it welcome packs and contest points for Leaders Retreat? Is the Consistency Club the most important thing to you, or is going Senior Ruby? So sometimes you have to make those sacrifices. You can't be first at everything. Okay, I'm not on the leaders board. My goals are different. So you can't always have everything, and that's okay. So pick and choose what matters the most to you, and that's where you put your time and effort.
Awesome. Thank you all for that. Our next question from TRA.
Hi.
Hello.
So my question, I mean, obviously I already posted it, but, I completely understand that I need to be a leader and build belief in others, and my belief being unshakable will encourage my team. But sometimes that's really difficult. And I know the fake it till you make it, totally get it. But how do the two of you balance like your head and your heart with this business? Because it's hard to leave the emotion out of it when your why makes you cry. It's difficult. So you want to empower people and you want to lead them and be this unshakable rock. And then you have people white line or an exodus of customers. And then you're like, oh, so I mean, how do you guys do that?
Okay, I'll take this one.
Okay.
Your why should make you cry. Your why should make others cry. But when you're ready to cry, you go to your upline, not your downline, okay? That's your upline. It's important to be a rock for your downline. It's important to be vulnerable too. My team has seen me cry. My team has totally seen me mess up. And I've absolutely lost my cool. I have complained or made a mistake or got too wrapped up in wanting something where I had to go back and say, I wasn't looking at the whole picture here. And I apologize because I was too focused on one thing and I wasn't invested enough in you guys. And I've had to make those apologies. The example with back office is perfect. As leaders, when we had all of these people contacting us, needing answers for back office, and we couldn't get a hold of anyone. So the challenge there was that our liaisons were completely slammed. They weren't answering phones. They weren't answering emails. And it was interesting. We've got like an Arkansas Jewels thread. So all of these emerald, sapphires, and diamonds from Arkansas are all writing in. And there were some people that really lost it during that time. And then you really saw leaders emerge in those moments. So what I would say to you is that this has been such an emotionally, such a maturing process. Where I am now, I can't, 3 years ago, there have been situations where I've cried and thought I could never recover. And now I look at things so differently. I'm able to see the much bigger picture and keep my emotions in check and go, this is a bump, it's a wave, but it's not the end of the world. It's not the end of Plexus. It's so important to have corporates back, because if you guys see me flipping out and you see me saying the sky is falling, is that going to encourage you to get out there and believe that this is possible? Now, but I also want to be honest, and especially, I mean, I think that that's so important, and I think we really try to do a good job of telling you guys when we're really struggling, and when you kind of have to get over it and know that this is, a Plexus problem. It's not a real problem. It's a Plexus problem in this moment of time. But I think the biggest thing that I can tell you is having emotions in this journey is so important. Being vulnerable is what brings people. That's what makes you approachable. But when it comes to leading your team, I think it is important to try to be as much of a rock as possible and go to your upline and go to your grandma upline and your great grandma and have those moments. I had a Jewel contact me today and said, I just need to fall apart right now. And she did. And you know what? Everything's good now. So we're a safe place for that. You just, it's so important that you keep corporates. You need to have corporates back with your team, and you need to always empower your team to believe in themselves and to believe in the opportunity, because the minute that stops is when the momentum of your team stops. So I think there's a journey. Yes, go, I'm good.
Okay. Tiara, you mentioned about Eric Worre talking about leaving the emotions out of it when your customers jump ship or you white line, that kind of stuff.
Right.
And my first thought is, it's easy for him to say he's a guy. God made us with emotions, and your emotions are what's gotten you where you are and is what draws you to people. So yeah, there's that fine line between being emotional and passionate and then getting upset when people leave you or white line. What I would say is, when you have the opportunity, help them find their why, because your why is what's motivating you. If somebody that's a white line can figure out what their why is, that may turn them around. It may not, but it might, because your why is what's going to motivate you. But you know what? Stay passionate, cry, and it'll drive you nuts. But that's what's fueling you to where you are and what's going to fuel you to move on further. It's not a bad thing, girl. That's it.
Thank you. Thank you guys very much.
Okay.
That was such a good question. I loved that one. Okay, our next question from Kayla. Kayla and Tracy are going to kind of combine their questions together. Mel, you had talked about kind of briefly touching on this one and then maybe turning it into a post. So I'll let y'all come to that one. Kayla, take it away.
All righty. Hi, guys. Thank you so much. This is so exciting. Okay, here's our question. It's kind of a two-part. We have so much great training information from the Success Plan page, which is amazing, the Success Kit, the team pages, the new Ambassador Training 101 and 201, this Rising Emeralds, YouTube videos, and more. So two-part question. Number one, what does your personal level one, training checklist look like for new ambassadors? How do you weave those together without overwhelming them? And then second, how do you keep your whole team motivated and excited and balanced and not overwhelmed by all of the information?
You want me to take it? I'll start.
And then yeah.
Okay. We'll piggyback on each other. Okay, first of all, think as a parent, you've got kids who have a million activities. There's soccer, there's basketball, there's after school activities. And all of those things are really good for them, but they don't need to be in everything. You've got all of these things, these resources for your ambassadors, but that doesn't mean they need to be a part of each one of those. So you as a leader need to find out where your ambassadors are and help pick and choose what would be good for them. And think big picture. What's going to help them in the long term? What's going to best benefit them in their business? So this is where you can come in and help them pick and choose because there's so much and so much of it good. As far as our level ones, you know, Plexus came up with the Success Kit, and it's amazing. It's amazing. But we don't need to reinvent the wheel. I feel like we need to start there, and because it's easily duplicatable to down, all the way down. Yes, we've got the success plan. We've got several different things that we'll show you and put on the Rising Emeralds page. But because Plexus has given us the Success Kit, I feel like that's where we need to start, and then pull in the others. You know, maybe it's coaching calls, accountability calls to go. You cannot get any better than talking one-on-one to your new level ones. That's the absolute best thing you can do. And then you could point them in the direction that you feel like they need to go. And you know, it is going to be different for everybody, but I feel like the Success Kit was made by Plexus, and I feel like that's where we need to start because it's easily duplicatable. That's my 2 cents.
I agree, and it's so well done. It won the Arizona Award. It's a beautiful piece, and it's really the first major training tool that we've been given. Just like the Jewels of Excellence training is really the first official training that we've been given. So we're new waters here with you guys. You know, our Darby team manual, the version 1, was the 2 of us meeting on weekends trying to pull together training because we didn't have it. And then the Success Kit was, or the Success Plan was the shorter, better version of that. And then we've got some other great resources that we're going to share on the page and make this so that it's easier for you guys to search. But just to add to what Debbie said, not only should you pick and choose, but sometimes it's just way too much. And you will know there are people that ask the most specific, crazy product questions, and you know that those are your detail-oriented people that are going to want to hear those product knowledge calls. So you customize to each person. If you know that, you know, that wasn't something that Debbie wanted as much, but that, hey, I really need to talk with her about baby boomers and how to grow in her comfort zone. I mean, you have to really take it with each person and say, what are their strengths? What are their weaknesses? And how do we leverage those? And what tools do we use for each of those people? I do not have a one way that works for every person. I've tried that. People are in too many places mentally, emotionally, and in their desires and goals of the company. So that's why we have a lot of different tools. It's your job to pick and choose wisely. And we'll list our favorites on the page and really speak to what we use and why we use them.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thanks for asking.
Okay, our next question, Betsy Cummings.
Hello. Yeah, thank you. So my question is for wholesale ambassadors that sign up for the discount, and you know they're ordering product for themselves and possibly their husband or whatever. What's the best way that you found to get them to, I guess, quote unquote, see the light and start sharing, especially when you know that they would be amazing at this business?
Deb, do you want me to take that?
I'll take it. I mean, we can piggyback. Okay. You know what? Bottom line with all of this, if you can get a check in their hand, that's when they're going to become believers. That's when they're going to understand that this is real. And this is the 80-20 rule. You're going to love those people who just don't jump on board, but you're going to let them do their own thing, and you're going to invest in the 20%. bottom line is this isn't for everybody. And those who we think, oh my gosh, they're going to be amazing. I'm so excited. They're going to take it to the top. I can't tell you how many of those I've had that didn't go there. So, we can't make them do it. We just can't. I do believe if you can help them to get some customers, help them to see that, I think getting a check in somebody's hand is what is going to turn most of them around, where they're going to see there really are possibilities here. That's what I just keep dripping. Don't give up on them. Mm-hmm. Just keep dripping. They are watching you, and they may watch you for a year, 2 years, and see, are you really going to stick with it? Are you giving up? They may be hoping you're going to fail, but you stick with it and keep dripping on them.
I don't go for the wholesale route as much as some other people do. I truly like to, and those customers are, I either keep them as a preferred customer. Definitely, if they don't have 100 PV, they're going to be a preferred customer for sure. But anyone that I really know deep down has the potential to do the business, which is just about everyone. There are those people that have absolutely told me with no they have said, I will not do it. And a few of those have still come around, but there are those people that are going to be customers and that's it. But for anyone else, I love to try to put them in the, let's see what can happen when we add them to our team page, when we show them our comp plan, when we send them testimonials that resonate. They don't have to have the perfect story. My first diamond is drop dead gorgeous, teeny tiny, a health nut, and didn't need Plexus. She was excited about the opportunity and the purpose to share with her mom and to help others. Not everyone has a make you cry story. There are those people that want purpose. There are those people that you can talk to them in a different way and really try to reach their heart. It doesn't necessarily have to be the best testimony in the world. It can be about getting a paycheck in their hand and telling them, look at what you can do to help change others' lives or educate others. Some people, there's a whole North Carolina group, they said from the beginning, we are not in this for a paycheck. We are in this for purpose and passion. We found ourselves again, and we love each other, and it's so much fun. So everyone does it for different reasons. I think it's just important to really find out what that is, but believe in them, because when you believe in them, they'll start believing in themselves.
Okay, our last question I'm going to ask for Mary Ellen Reed, and this one's just for Deb. Not to single you out, but I totally am. How do you target the 50-plus age group when they have done it all before and are usually on fixed income? I guess that means for business and customer.
Now, is there a specific reason why you chose me?
Because you did your incredible boomers call that you have to share on this page. That's why.
Okay, guys. All right, let's talk boomers for a second. Boomers are, let's see, okay. Boomers are between 52 and 70, 52 and 70 years old right now. And I'm getting on that 70-year-old end right now. Okay, we boomers are skeptical. We're hard-headed. We've done it all. We've been there, done that. We think everything's a pyramid scheme. We love drugs, whatever doctors tell us, we'll do it. So, and it's true. It's true. So we did not grow up the healthy generation. The question was how to target them when most of them are on fixed incomes. Are any of you guys not on fixed incomes? Most all of us are on fixed incomes. So it's a real easy excuse for we boomers to use is that we're on fixed incomes. And I'm speaking as a whole now, this is not across the board, but most boomers, you should know, we're the wealthiest demographic there is. We are retired. We're looking for purpose. We want to quit our jobs, but we want to do something that's meaningful. We are not as concerned about money as we are about feeling good about what we're doing and leaving a legacy. So don't discount us. We have so much to offer. The deal is, with you younger generation, you want to know all the facts. You want to know the ingredients. You want to know how things work. We want stories. We are going to buy the emotions before we're going to buy this product that's going to make you lose weight, or this product's going to take away your aches and pains. That doesn't resonate with us. We want a story. We want emotions. Appeal to our heart, and you've got us. Be honest with us. Be dependable. If you promise us something, you better deliver, or you are out of there. Let's see, I wrote a few things. We're not in a hurry either. We take longer to make decisions. If just because we're not getting back with you does not mean we're not interested. You have to keep after us, because we want to think about things, and we want to feel good and warm and fuzzy about it. So the fixed income, for the most part, is an excuse, but it works. So come at us from the heart. We want a relationship with you. We don't care as much about the product as we do a relationship with you. So does that kind of answer your question? Let's see if there's anything else. That's pretty much it.
Yeah, I think that covered it. She's not on here, so I'll just speak for her and say, yeah, that covered it.
Hey, y'all, there is a huge group that is not in Plexus, and it's my demographic.
Yes.
And you can get a boomer on board. Let me tell you, you've got something great. Well, not that I'm great, but we boomers are pretty amazing.
She's pretty great. Don't you think? Pretty great.
If you can get a boomer, you got a lifer.
Absolutely. I agree. And Deb, please share that call. That would be a great thing.
Oh, okay.
On the right. You did it. I'm sorry.
Oh, I'm saying I totally missed that call, so definitely please share it with us. That'd be awesome.
It was from a while back, the Destination Diamond call. So we'll make sure that she listened to it. It's so good. She really did a lot of research into that specific demographic, and it blew me away. I was like, okay, I'm going to go get some boomers now. It was a great call. So
that's awesome.
Well, fun.
We're going to wrap this up unless y'all have anything else left to share, but thank you guys so much. This was amazing and made me cry, and hopefully I wasn't crying. But y'all are just amazing, and thank y'all for just being our leaders. And like we said, like y'all had to say at the beginning, my technical difficulties, y'all are like the mothers to most of this team, and we just appreciate everything that y'all have done to be pioneers for us. So thank y'all for taking your time this week and pouring into us, and we love you, and I'm going to stop gushing.
We love you guys, and thank you for the privilege and honor. I mean, thank you for wanting us to be here. This is what fills my tank more than anything, and especially with it being y'all. So feel free to post any other questions that y'all want to talk about this week, or if you want us to make any videos, anything that we can do to help you guys, please feel free to reach out. That's what we're here for. I really want this week to be an impact for you guys. So again, thank you guys so much for giving your time, and I will share the recording, and we can break it up into 2 pieces. And for those that hung in there for, over an hour, wow, good job. We love y'all.
We love you guys. Thank you guys so much.
Night.
Thank you guys.
Bye.
Bye, y'all.